What is up? Sorry, I just lost my mouse. Where did my mouse go? Anyways, worry about that in a minute. But I can't. I need to find the mouse to get the chat. Happy Sunday evening, guys. Welcome to DWIT3D. There we are. There's my chat. I just want to say hello and welcome to those of you online so far. We have Jerry, 3D Printing and Painting. Thank you. Joe Velasco. We have Slim Gig, and we have Dwayne King. Welcome. We have Kieran. And I think that's it so far. 5 people. Look at that. Cool. Well, 5 of you, thank you very much for joining in. Truth be told, I wasn't going to stream tonight. I was working on this thing again today, and I got really frustrated with it. And I said, the heck with it. I don't really want to stream. This is taking my time. But I thought, what the heck? Misery loves company. So thought I'd just pop on and I won't be a long stream tonight, just a stream. And I thought, well, you know what? I'll at least get on here and talk about the big build I'm going to be doing soon. I'm crossing my fingers that the kit gets here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're hoping that. It's no big secret by now, as most of you already know, that I've ordered a rat rig kit. It's their standard kit. It's a 500 by 500 by 500 build volume. And that is massive compared to what I am used to and what I have done in the past. The largest I've ever printed on in the past has been a CR10S Pro, which I believe was I don't even know if it was a 400 on that one, because I haven't used that one in so long, and it's at the printer doctor. It's been there for a while. So, but yeah, that's the largest I've ever built on. But generally, they've been the smaller print bed sizes, like your Ender 3V2s, your Prusas, and so forth. So, anyways, so I thought I'd come on tonight anyways. What the heck? Talk about that. I don't know if I'm going to continue working on this right now or not. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I haven't tried this yet, but Jerry, I know you're out there. I even went up and I found lubricants that I had in the kitchen. I have vegetable oil and I have coconut oil. I haven't tried that yet. You were mentioning about coconut oil and vegetable oil to possibly season the inside of these throats. So what I've tried so far, I've tried 2 different throats from the manufacturer, from Kaiwu. They sent these all metal throats, all metal hot end kits, which their all metal hot end kit was this throat, which basically has, let me switch to the close-up camera. Here we go. So this all metal hot end throat basically has like an opening right there, as you see, where the filament then goes in. So this is in fact a true all metal hot end, because the filament, the Bowden tube, does not go by that point. And then it's a 1.75, or with the proper allowance for the clearance. And then the filament goes all the way down to the tip, and then this tightens up against. And this is the nozzle that they gave me with that all metal kit. So of course these are going to tighten up against one another and creates a straight path into the hot end, or to the nozzle for the filament. So I've tried two different ones of these, and I'm not getting a flow. I get a flow when I load the filament. It just comes out of there like shit through a goose. It really does. But then when I stop it and I send a print, then I go to print, it stops extruding. Okay, and then what ends up happening is when I pull the filament out, I get a little bit of a bulgy buildup right, not right at the tip, but sort of right just above the tip there. So it's jamming in there somewhere. So, and it's not easy to push in, and maybe that's why then it was suggested to me that I use these oils to lube or to season the inside of this to make the filament run through there a little bit smoother. So anyways, oh hey Yoav, you came in to say goodbye on the way, giving a like just before bed. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. You have a wonderful sleep. So Dominic, yes, you did hear right. I am building a rat rig, not tonight. I'm just introducing. Let me get back over to this camera. I'm just introducing a rat rig build tonight, so which is what I'm going to be working on. I've ordered the kit. The kit is on its way. Well, why don't I show you guys while I'm here? I did I understand that it's a huge kit, and so I built myself a mock-up. Am I looking at the right camera? There I am, yeah. I built myself a mock-up frame for it, just to see how big we're talking. And when I got the specifications for the actual frame size, not the build size, but the frame size from Rat Rig, and at my office, I took some spare coroplast, etc., and I built a mock-up frame. Let me grab this camera here. Let's see if I can get this over here. And this is, there we go there. That is the mock-up frame sitting on my basement floor. You can see the mess in the background there. There's my cameras that I got set up right here. There's where I am. That's the mock-up frame, and just to give a scale of size, that is a Ender 3 V2 sitting inside that frame. So that is a massively big frame. I'm actually having a 3 foot by 3 foot table custom made for me. I have a brother in Ontario who's an iron artist. He does incredible work, and he's made tables for me in the past, much larger ones for my shop. But I'm going to have him build me a 3 foot by 3 foot table just for the rat rig. And I'm going to be selling my, these are still brand new, my leather recliner love seats, and just getting a single one. I'm the only one that uses these down in my man cave. And I'm going to be rearranging things down here. Let me get back up to this guy. And I'm going to be rearranging things down here, all in the name of making room to fit this rat rig. So, yeah, because it's going to take up a fair bit of space. The build is hopefully going to happen on this bench, although that thing almost hits my light right up here when it's built. So I don't know. I may, depending on when I get that table, it's a custom build, so my brother's going to build it and then mail it from Ontario for me, and I'm out here in Alberta. I may build it on this bench. I don't know. I have to wait and see how I rearrange the basement. So there's going to be a couple weeks there where I may not stream prior to starting that build, but then my goal is to basically have you guys watch, and whenever possible, probably assist, because I know I'm not going to be able to. I should be able to. The instructions are pretty easy, but I'll be more confident if I have some knowledgeable people in the background saying, "Hey, have you considered this?" or "Hey, have you considered that? Maybe you want to try it this way." I have a good idea how well it's going to go and what I'm going to do, but still, it's fun to build along with you guys. And if any of you guys out there are going to do one of these in the future, hey, you can learn from my mistakes, because I can almost guarantee I'll make mistakes, because I'm not perfect and I don't know everything. So I never claim to know everything, and I definitely don't know everything. So anyways, what's going on in chat? Let's have a look at chat here. Where's my mouse? My whole desk is just busy here. So let's see, the cat got what? Anyways. We have some more people coming on. I see Dominic, you're on there for sure. We have The Apprentice. You are here. Thank you so much. And Kieran, I know you're here. Yes, Jerry, great birthday stream you had the other day. Happy birthday again. That was very successful. That's great. And Joe, yeah, you're on. And what's Joe saying? Keep in mind that PLA sticks like crazy to steel. Either make sure that you are using no more than 2mm retraction, or try printing ABS G. Oh, that's probably to Jerry. Yeah. Your Hypercube EvoCore XY is 4x4x5. Mine is much bigger. Well, only 100mm bigger, so it's going to be. I don't have it yet, but based on the lead time for ordering this thing, 4 to 6 weeks, or 6 weeks, it should be within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I should be getting a shipment notification. Oh, by the way, tonight's stream is sponsored by The First Layer. No, well, it's not, but they're my buddies. They didn't stream live today, and I know Richard's been really, really busy, and I know they're going to be back next week for those of you that missed them today. So, yeah, I'll be chatting with Richard this week for sure. And I'll also be having a chat and meeting the guys from. I'm just my mind today is just so crazy full from Matter 3D. I'm going to be meeting the gentleman from Matter 3D. He's out in Calgary. He wants to meet up with me. So, and he's also going to deliver my order for me, which is awesome because they make great filament. So, I have a couple options with this. I don't know. Just while we're on the story of the rat rig, I also ordered my good buddy Jason, who was on our droid builds that we're taking a little hiatus on the droid builds right now, but Jason had mentioned to me that the actual rat rig PETG filament, the actual color is available from a company in Poland. So on Tuesday last week, I ordered 3 rolls of the PETG from this company in Poland, and I received it. Actually, it arrived Thursday because I just couldn't get to the FedEx depot in time to pick it up. They delivered it to my house Friday, and it's that green. Oh, wrong camera. It's that nice green rat rig filament. It's just called bright green, and I just actually finished printing these parts because my good buddy Jason sent me some files that he had already printed just for some things that I'm going to need for the build, like these little round guys or little standoffs for the main board, that for the electronic panel that's on it, so the main board stands off. I forget what these ones here are for. And then he also sent me the files to print. This is a holder for the LED for the touchscreen, the LED touchscreen that's going to be, or the control screen that's going to be going on, and that'll sit on top of the frame. I just decided to print it in that green. I may change my mind to a black, but I just thought I'd use it. And yeah, this filament prints beautifully. I printed all these things on the Prusa MK3, so that's been pretty beautiful. This print just finished today. So, anyways, and then I've also started to pre-purchase. That is a nice green, isn't it, Kieran? The actual filament is called. Let's see. There it is. It's a filament called Devil Design. So there's the box. It's called Devil Design. Okay, and yeah, this one is the PETG bright green. This runs. I just ran the Prusament PETG profile, and it printed beautiful, just like butter. It went down so smooth. And this PETG, after I paid in US dollars, paid shipping from Poland, after shipping import fees, which are only $8 or something like that, that worked out to about $32 a roll Canadian for that PETG. No, sorry, 36 a roll Canadian for that PETG, all the way from Poland. And it arrived here in 2 days. Well, I ordered Tuesday, it came Thursday, it actually came to my house Friday, so I don't care, 4 days. I don't get stuff from the US that fast. That's almost as fast, that's about as fast as Prusa. So I don't know what it is with getting shipments from overseas versus getting shipments from my good neighbors south of me, but I can get them quicker from overseas and less expensive. Less cost on the duties from bringing it from another country versus bringing it up from the folks down in the US, and faster. So yeah, I buy local when I can, but this color is a unique color for one, and the quality of filaments, although don't get me wrong, Matter 3D's filaments are great. I love their PETG, I love their PLA and everything, but they're limited in colors right now. And I specifically got these ones because I wanted that green to print my parts and also to print spare parts for the rat rig. So should down the road I ever need a spare part. So anyways, and then I've also been buying in advance a few other parts based on recommendations again from my good buddy Jason. So we've got a nice little filament runout sensor. This was actually from a company called Dyes Design, which is right up here in Canada out of Quebec. So a really good quality filament runout sensor. So I have that ready. These are just items that don't come in the actual kit. And then I bought, of course, a Raspberry Pi 4 with 8 gig of RAM, or 4 gig of RAM, and then an SD card to go with it. Jason M, you don't know if you want to turn your webcam on. Oh, you're on there, Jason. I'm talking about you. Yes, these are all your recommendations, which is great. He's my tech support guy, whether he knows it or not. And then the cutest little, this is a Meanwell power supply, and this is a 5 amp This is an AC to DC power supply, and it's a little 5 amp Meanwell power supply. This is going to power the Raspberry Pi board, because from what I understand, the firmware is housed on the Raspberry Pi board for this rat rig build. So it's all new to me. So this is great. This is 10 amp, 300 volt, 10 amp for this little guy here, and it's a Meanwell, so it's great. And then of course, let's go. What's happening here now? Devlin Design Bright Green. That is it. Small prints are for the Filament Sentinel. Okay, that's these small. Oh, this one here. That one. Okay, I printed 2 just because it was really cheap. And but man, I mean that filament. If I go to the close-up camera, that is a great. I mean, yeah, that's on the Prusa. Okay, well, so we expect good prints, but why aren't you focusing for me? But the filament printed beautifully. So I know it's hard to see here. If I turn the light on, there we go. But the filament is beautiful, nice green. There's the top layer. There's the bottom layer, of course. Perfect. Oops. Perfect, perfect first layer. Nice filament, nice print, nice color. So yeah, turn that light off. It's blinding me. It's blinding me. And then the piece de resistance. In this box, I've got the, I believe it's a touchscreen. It has to be a touchscreen. So that's the touchscreen that I was recommended to get. Yep. So there we go. So all the little add-ons. My goal is to have all the extras I need in advance of getting the printer, because I don't want to kind of be mid-live stream building this thing and go, oh, I need to order this part. I would really like to have all my parts ordered and all my pieces and panels that I need CNC cut prior to starting the build. So this is a great head start, thanks to my buddy Jason referring these things to me. So, and it kind of all seems to make sense. And I'm going to be doing a lot of learning while I'm doing this build. So, but I am a very quick study, I will say that. So there we are. What's going on here? Is that a 5-inch touchscreen? I believe it is a 5-inch touchscreen. I didn't measure it, but yeah, it's about a 5-inch. Yeah, I'd say it's about 5 inches. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. PET G. And it is incredible filament. I mean, I didn't do it justice with that close-up shot there. I could probably, hang on, let's see. If I show you that piece again with this camera here, there we go. So that is just a perfect. That's on the smooth PEI sheet on the Prusa. And this, I didn't have to clean this up at all. There's the top layer. Shine happening, yeah, that's beautiful. That is such good filament, and it's strong. Yeah, anyways. And it's a really good price. So, yeah, there we go. Look, I've killed a whole 20 minutes already. You can confirm. So, let me get, so with back to this guy. You know, I had this on this hot end before. Let's see if that shows up there. There we go. Back to this guy. This has been a thorn in my side. I've been trying to get this going. I'm getting frustrated with it. Sell it with it working. Yes, I just got it. Yes, it's new, but I need to
Hello. Okay. So Tim is working out his internet issues, and he will be back soon. Yes, the comic relief is on. That is me. No, I lost. Yes, I've taken control. There is nothing wrong with your monitor. Your stream is being controlled. Okay, he's still working on it. He should be back. Yes, the outer limits for streaming. Oh, let's see who that was. And that was Tim again. He's still working on his internet connection issue. So, meanwhile, back at, yeah, no, never mind. While we wait, does anyone here have any experience with the Anycubic Chiron? Oh, I do not. You know, Karen, I don't think I even have a red shirt at all. I don't think I have even one red shirt. Yeah, he's gotten so much better looking, hasn't he? Wow, just overnight, magically. Who knew? Oh, no. Let me see if I can. I really don't know like how to do a lot of things in here. I would put a link to see if anybody else wanted to jump in until Tim comes back, but I don't know how to do that. So, sorry. There used to be a button, I think. Oh, is that way? Aha, I found it. Well, there, I put a link in the chat to the stream if anybody would like to jump in and fill in for Tim until he returns. Oh, he's back.
I made it. I made it.
Yay. All right, I'm out.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Oh, now Jerry wants to come in. I can tell him no.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You guys can stay if you want. I mean, Gary.
I'm doing some stuff in the background, so I'm gonna hop out.
Yeah, I'll hop
Okay,
back out,
sounds
take
good.
over Tim.
I'm still on though. I'm still listening to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Like and subscribe to me on Tim's channel, DWIT3D.
Wow. Sorry about that, everybody. Major internet crash. So I had to reset a router, then I had to come down and reboot a computer. So, wow. Whew. Awesome. Okay. So anybody wants to pop in, you're welcome. Jason can self-pop in anytime he wants to. And I appreciate you coming in and taking over like that. That is over and above. Thank you so much. Whew. I usually have very reliable internet service, but lately my alarm panel has been giving me issues. My internet, my TV's been freezing, so I got to give them a call, or I got to switch providers. I mean, sometimes you just got to make a change, but usually it's very reliable. So, but this week has been, that's typical of the week. So, anyways, what I was saying before that interruption, and thank you so much, Jerry and Jason, for stepping up like that. Much appreciated. I have a couple options here that I can do. I've been digging out a few things. So I have an all metal hot end here. I believe this was from the Micro Swiss. So the Bowden tube goes down partway in there, and then it comes out with the filament end to the nozzle. I have a package of these things, which are just your standard moisture in my connection box. I wonder, I don't know, shouldn't be. We don't have humidity down here, up here. I have these standard throats, which is a standard Creality type throat, which is a non-hot end, non-all metal. I could throw one of them back in. If you recall, when I took the other ones out, they were kind of destroyed because I had to squish them because they were tight. This one looks a little thicker though, so this will take a little more of a beating. I found an old Creality hot end. I could always take the throat out of this thing. But I think what I'll try and do, I think I'll try real quick here. I'm going to put this throat back in. The one they gave me, I'm going to throw it back in. Now, should I use vegetable oil or should I use coconut oil to season this, to try and season this? That's the only two oils I have. I have vegetable oil and or coconut oil. So, hey, non-fam, you're here. There's probably a few more people that have popped in since then and came to a dead screen or logged in and saw Jason and went, huh? That's not Tim. That's okay. So I'm going to try this again. One more time. So then we'll see. But I'm just wondering what else you use. Vegetable oil is higher flame temperature. Okay. So use vegetable oil. Yeah. Coconut oil, I've made popcorn with the coconut oil before, and it tends to burn easier. So, yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is we'll get some vegetable oil out. Vegetable, 100% pure Mazola vegetable oil. Source of omega-1 and omega-6 polyunsaturates. I think the printer would like them. Hey, Marcel. Real bad if they jumped in and saw you. No. They'd say, boy, Tim has changed. See what taking a week off does for him? So I'm just going to grab a rag. Let's see. I got a rag over here. Let me get a drink. I snuck a drink while the internet was down there. Took advantage. I'm going to just sort of get some oil on this rag. And I guess the best way to do it is to, first of all, I'm just going to lube up a piece of filament with it here. Soak a piece of filament. Run this through. I've never done this before, so I'm going to run this through the filament. because there is a little bit of a grip there. I mean, it's not as smooth as it should be in there. Or perhaps I should just maybe drip. Can I maybe drip some vegetable oil in this? Can I bring a little bit out here? Let's just see. There we go, and let's just let it drip in there. Okay, so I'll throw a little bit of vegetable oil in there, get the slimy fingers. Hey, I missed you too, Marcel. How are you? I saw you went live today, but I wasn't around. I wasn't able to join in. Next time I will. Okay. So, I'll even go with the same nozzle. There should not be anything wrong with this nozzle. Do that, and then we'll do a hot tighten. There's not a thing impeding this. There's no reason this should not work. There we go. We're going to put my nozzle wrench. Found one of these cool nozzle wrenches. I stripped my other one. I was so ticked. Anyways. Curse of the drinking class. So let's just snug this up right now, and we'll do a hot tighten. Okay, so that is definitely, there's definitely no gap between the nozzle and the throat in there right now. So that has got to be correct. There we are. I couldn't find the hole. No jokes. Come on. Let them fly. Throw this back in. Oh, very cool. And I know I'm not going to ask because I know you can't name anything. Why the oil, Colorado? Well, it was recommended to me. And I believe Jerry was the one who first recommended it to me because I'm getting a clog in there for some reason. And I shouldn't. With the all metal, there's nothing in there. There's no Bowden tube impeding with it. I'm hot tightening. I'm doing everything right, but I'm still getting a clog. And I was told that perhaps because it's a brand new throat, that there is not the filament is maybe having trouble pushing through it. So apparently the oil is going to season that throat and maybe help the filament slide through a little easier. So basically just giving it lubrication so there's less friction, and there's less friction when it's going in and out of that throat. So okay, let the fireworks begin. Is I think Kieran is going to have something to say about that. Anyways, yeah, that's the idea of that. So okay, so we got the hot input back on, got it screwed up in there. I'm just going to leave everything bare right in it for now. I'm not even going to put the sock on yet. We're going to heat it up and give a hot tighten on that. So let's heat it up. I'm going to heat that to 240 just to make sure that it's nice and hot. So when I hot tighten that thing, there's no excuses. There's no room. Oh hell, I'm going to heat it up to 250. I'm going to hot tighten that at 250. And then there's no room for that filament to squeeze out between the throat and the nozzle. There shouldn't be. Okay. I mean, I pulled out all sorts of. I found drawers and drawers of different hot ends and throats and blocks and I just So we'll see. But apparently, I had another subscriber that emailed me and said he had the same issues when he switched to the all metal hot end on this. So if this doesn't work, I'm going to go back. I'm going to throw an old style back on Bowden system so it's not all metal and see if it makes a difference. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of at a loss. Make a few comments in chat and you get labeled for life. Kieran, you do. Yes. I will never chat with you and it'll never be the same with you on live stream again. Never. But that's okay. That's what makes them fun. If you see my Facebook post, oh, I'll have to have a look. I will have to have a look. Let's see. You assumed you dropped my retractions. I dropped my retractions. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this bed is clean with my liquid gold. Can't even get this thing to print in thin air, which is kind of sad. A few comments. We'll give this a shot. And we are at 250 degrees. Let's tighten this hot end up. Whoops. Let's hot tighten this. That light's annoying, isn't it? That's the, I don't know what that light in there. That's on the, basically saying that the motherboard's alive. Okay, around the block. Oh, this stupid block. Whoa. Okay. And let's hot tighten this baby. Come on, get on there. And I don't want to break it, but I want to make sure there's no excuses there. That's tight. That's very tight. Okay, now, to eliminate the fact that it could be the filament, where did I put it? Where'd you go? Oh, there it is. We're going to put some Filament in. I know this is good filament. Filament Galaxy Silver. Here we go. Filament Galaxy Silver. Let's come through the filament sensor. First of all, let's just give it a little. We're going to put the other. We're going to put my lube. Let's just sort of give the filament a little bit of a wipe with that oil. There we go. Make sure that there's some oil on the filament. There we go. And down. And we have filament coming out, no problem. I'm going to use the filament loading feature in here. So we're going to go filament load, confirm. So there we go. Oh, where's my close-up? We can all see there is filament coming out of that thing like shit through a goose. Confirm. Let's try it again. I'll show you. Let's see. Load. Filament coming out of that thing beautifully. Look at that. Okay, no problems there. It is loading. Okay. Done. Now, we're going to try a test print. Just because I don't want to see what's on the card. Let's test print this thing. So let's switch cameras for now. There we go. Filament's loading, no problem at all. I can actually probably push a little bit more through here. Yeah, nothing impeding that filament at all. It's still warm. Let's see, let's find a test print on here or something. Let's print this that I was going to print before, and this because this was sliced for this printer. It's just a part of a skirt for a droid, but I don't need it. But I just want to see. I don't necessarily want to print the whole thing. I just want to see if it's at least going to be printing. Let's see what happens. And as I say, the slicer's not set up properly, so this thing is going to print it off center and so forth. So now I think I have to adjust the temperature on this slightly because, yeah. Temperature. We're going to come down with the hot end. We're going to go to 210. And the bed's got to heat up yet. It was just homing. Let's see what happens. Where's my tweezers? There are my tweezers. So we got lots of pre-extrusion happening, or pre-flow. So there we go. So this should do a bed mesh level, or unless I might have turned G29 off. I don't remember. For some reason, the bed's not even heating right now. Let's see. We're not printing. Hardened and clogged. If I'm slice a new print using no more than 2 millimeters of retraction, if you retract molten filament into the heat break, it will harden there and clog. Okay, makes sense. I've never had that issue before, but that's, you know what, let's eliminate all the factors. Let me go slice a new print, a new file. Let's just turn this way, because it's at a different desk. Bring the card. Hopefully you can hear me from over here. It's the Yeti mic I'm using, so I think it's going to be loud enough. That's dinner. That never really made it. Okay, so I can't see the chat right now, so I'm just going to yabber on. So I believe I have this one in Simplify 3D. That's where the profile for this printer is. And you see, make sure that's the right printer. Kaiwoon Tycoon, yes. Let's see what the, so you said 0.2 millimeters. What's the retraction on this right now? Nozzle diameter is 40. I don't know why that says 35. That's okay. Retraction distance is 1 millimeter. Okay, retraction speed 30 millimeters per second. We have 4 top, 4 bottom. 0.2 layer height, that's fine. We have an infill of 15%, that's fine. No support. 60-degree bed. 220 first layer, 210 second layer. We're good. Cooling 100% after layer 3. We should be fine to slice this. This should at least give us a file to work with. Okay. We're not going to print the whole thing anyways, which is good. So I'm just going to save this to the disk. We'll call it. Save toolpath to this, yeah, because it's a 6-hour print. I'm not going to stay on for 6 hours. We're just going to call this skirt. We're going to call this AAA skirt, just because it's going to show up in alphabetical order on that screen. It doesn't come up like the Prusa does with first on, first print, first showing. So, okay. We're back. Brand new slice file. See what happens. For some reason, that last one I sent, it was sort of stuck and frozen, so there was probably obviously a problem with the G code there. Anyways, had to hit stop, and now it's just resetting itself. Okay, so we're going to print. It takes a second to load the file, which is kind of annoying. Right there. And we're going to call it, let's see, where did I put it? No, it's not showing up in alphabetical order. Well, that's weird. It's showing up as the last file on there. Okay, confirm. See what happens. See what happens here. Move that out of your way there. I'm assuming it's going to heat now. There we go. Okay, the bed's heating. So we're having some progress. Oh, well, I got you guys on here. Look at this interesting thing. To this day, I looked through all the history of everywhere I shop online. This thing showed up in the mail one day about 3-4 weeks ago. It just came from somewhere in China, Shenzhen something. Anyways, it got beat up all the crap. It is, you can see the corner there, kind of right there. Actually, I think this other camera might be better here. You can kind of see the corner there. There you go, that's better. This whole thing was bent. Like when I sit right now, it's relatively square. It was like squished, like it had been dropped, and it came in like just a lightly padded envelope. It's a complete direct drive hot end system. I have no clue where it came from. All that it had was a return address. There was no packing list. I looked through every one of the places I order stuff from. I do not remember ordering this. I looked through all my receipts and my credit card payments, PayPal, everything. I did not order this. This just showed up in the mail one day to DWIT3D Canada at my address. I don't know who it is. It doesn't look familiar. It's obviously a clone, a knockoff of some kind. It's got a small, a thin stepper motor on it. I believe it's a BMG clone extruder feeder. And it's, it's got it looks like a V6 clone hot end, type of hot end in there. Anyways, I took it all apart, fixed it all up, straightened it as best I could. Looks like it's in pretty good shape, like it would work. There's the cooling fan for the hot end, etc., etc. I have no idea where that came from. It's got an interesting mount. I mean, it's I don't know if that'll mount on an Ender 3 or something. But anyways, that's something I can try on one day. But the problem is, if I like it and I review it or I just and speak of it, I have no clue where to tell people to get it because it just showed up in a padded bag and like that. But as I say, it was damaged all the crap. But pretty sure I fixed it up enough to at least give it a shot and see how it works. So anyways, that was interesting. So, I mean, a packing list would have been nice. I checked Banggood. I checked Banggood, the other one. Anyways, I checked all my places I buy stuff from, and I have no record of ordering that thing at all. So, yeah, free spare parts. I agree. Okay, the heat bed's almost to temperature. We're at, I got it set to 65 for some reason. Anyways, no big deal. Is the nozzle heating up at the same time? It's not. I don't like when the nozzle doesn't heat up at the same time as the heat bed. I think that's I don't know if that's a firmware or a Marlin thing, if I can change that. But anyways, I like a printer when the heat bed and the nozzle heat up simultaneously. So, let's give that a help. There we go. Heat bed's down to 63. We're good. Now the nozzle's going to heat. But I think it's going to do its auto. Now we just crashed into the heat bed. Into the bed. What's going on? BL Touch just failed. This friggin' thing's got a mind of its own. I don't know what it's doing here. Look. I think there's an issue with the firmware in this printer or something. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, that's a good idea, Aaron. Yeah. All right, now the BL Touch worked. That was weird. Looks like it's going to do its mesh leveling here. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Okay, that is just strange. Because the first 2 points didn't get measured. Anyways, all I want to know if it's going to extrude filament. I'm going to actually purposely raise the Z offset too high because I'm not worried about first layer quality right now. I'm worried about just filament spitting out. So okay, Dominic, yeah. There's advantages and disadvantages. Prusa seems to have it right though on the Mini. It heats the bed, the nozzle to 170 while it does its mesh leveling feature. Then it parks the nozzle, heats it up the rest of the way, and yeah. See, there's definitely something going on in this printer because now, yeah, I think this is everything's frozen here. Nothing's working. Oh, let's reboot the printer. We'll try again. That's what I get for Kickstarter stuff, right? But you know what? Not worrying about it. Not worrying about it. When I first set it up, did a test print, it worked great. All this shenanigan crap has happened since I tried to put the all-metal hot end in. Let's reboot it and see what happens. Hey, Mika, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. How are you? And Matt, hey, Matt. If I haven't said hi to you, I apologize. I've just been preoccupied, and I see that Liam is on there. They have updated firmware. Well, of course they do, Liam. Yeah, I'm going to have to do the firmware update on it, but I've already been going a little over an hour, and I don't want to... This was not really supposed to be a stream about this printer anyways. This was going to be a stream about talking about my big rat rig build and what's going on going forward, but I thought, well, I'll get on here and we'll try and see if this thing at least works. It should at least, firmware upgrade or not, it should print this file. This file was sliced for this printer. See this touchscreen, non-responsive. There we go. I should not have to hit the keys 12 times. Wow. There we go. Let's see what happens now. Okay, heating the bed separate from the hot end is typically limited by the power supply capacity. Okay, makes sense. That makes sense too. Because it takes less power to maintain the heat of the bed than it does to heat the bed itself. Okay. You're hoping you can get the rat rig around October. Yeah, I'm hoping mine arrives before then. It should. I'm being patient with it. Okay, let's see what's happening with this. You homed yourself. Perfect. I understand right now you're doing your homing thing. That's good. Let's see now. Are you going to heat up? Okay, we have hot bed heating, so it shouldn't take long because we're at 49. So that shouldn't take long to do. Hey, Maker Viking. Yep. Which camera do I have here? I have that one on. This one is a secondary, do I? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I'm going to be redoing my entire studio again, just around the rat rig build. So, as I said earlier, I'm going to sell a love seat that I've got here, which is fairly new. I'm hoping I can get some decent money for it because, yeah, it was not cheap, but I just need to make a little bit more room because the basement's more studio than man cave. I just need that single seat reclining so that I can fall asleep if I'm watching a movie. I don't want to be too close to the TV, but at the same time, I'm going to need some room for my hobby. Okay, talk softly to it. Oh, I know. Please. You're such a nice printer. I'm not really worried. As I say, if I have to go back to the factory setup of this, I'll try the firmware update if this doesn't work. But I'll get it running. I'll get it running. I know. I just need to have a little more patience with it. But I did come into this. I will admit I came into this with a preconceived notion that I was going to have issues with it because other people have. So that was here nor there. But we'll see. Okay, let's see what it's going to do here. Okay, so we're doing the mesh leveling here. This might work, and the nozzle is heating up now. Okay. I think we might have some luck here. We might be in luck here. Let's see. I don't have my mouse here. I was going to see how many thumbs downs I have so far. That's all right. Let's get another drink of my Pepsi Zero. No sugar, but probably tons of caffeine. One of my guilty pleasures. Went to a movie today for the first time in, since the third wave lockdown or the second wave lockdown. It's been a long time. Saw a movie today called The Quiet Place Part 2. If you've seen The Quiet Place, that's John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, husband-wife team. John Krasinski wrote The Quiet Place 2. Did he write one? I'm not sure, but he directed them both. If you saw The Quiet Place 2 is phenomenal. The Quiet Place was an incredible movie for what it was. Quiet Place 2, I thought they stepped it up a level, and it was so good. I wanted more. What a great movie. Excellent movie. I highly recommend it. Okay. We're almost to temperature. Problem is, I don't see any pre-ejection of filament coming out, which is normally what we would see. Let's see, does it feel jammed? No, it doesn't feel jammed. That pushed out relatively easy. Let's have a look. Oops. There we go. Let's see what's going to happen here. Okay, temperature's just stabilizing, okay. We're at 64 on the bed at a 65. We're at 219 at a 220, 221, 220. There we go. Let's see what happens here. Let me get ready on the Z offset. Baby step. I just want to see this thing extrude something. Well, filament's coming out. Okay. Okay, the purge line looks fine. And, okay. We are extruding. We are extruding, and the Z offset looks pretty good. No, it's missed a spot here. See what's going on. Almost like there's a low spot in the bed up there. I must not have turned the skirt on. I'm pretty sure I have 4 perimeters set on this, but that is sticking. It's pretty ugly on this side of the bed over here, but it's extruding filament, and the filament's sticking. Let's see what happens when it goes for the infill. It's a lot of perimeters. I hope I didn't do a raft, or I mean a brim. No, I'm pretty sure. Oh, there we go. Okay. That was obviously a really long skirt I did. Let's see what happens here. Let me get you guys in a little closer here so you can see what's going on. Oh, there we go. See, it's not, well, let's lower the Z a little bit here. Not very responsive when I adjust the Z offset. Okay, that's the last wall. So the only thing I did different was that vegetable oil. So right now, that is looking like it may be, come on, sorry guys, I'm trying to get this camera angle right. Come on. Okay, let's see how this infill looks. Wow, that's not bad. The only thing different was add that vegetable oil into the hot end. You know I like skirts, yes. I'm not the skirt king of cameras, skirt camera king though. Okay, so we're extruding. Okay, like yeah, it's crappy looking. I'm getting crap all the way over here, but we're extruding, which was the main goal here. I'm not overly worried about the quality of the first layer here yet. That can be adjusted. You guys can see way up. Where's my pointer? You guys can see way up here. Yeah, you guys, it's obvious on the camera that it's laying down crappy in the one end. I think that is a issue with the build plate, to be honest, because there's no leveling knobs on this thing, so I can't manually level to raise that. What I'll do is I'll put the glass back on and try it and see if there's an issue with this build plate, but we're extruding filament. And right up here, it's actually looking pretty good. So the only difference was that vegetable oil. When it shuts off when I start a new print, yeah, there we go, yeah. So it's not sticking the best. This may not be the best bed. I don't know. This is just a DWIT3D print surface with a PEI. I have no clue the origins of this sheet. I could actually throw. You know what I should do? You know what I'm going to do? Okay, so I'm just going to stop this. I'm not going to print this whole thing. Let's stop the print. Okay, we know the filament's coming out now. Okay, so that may be the problem solved. But you can see right there that that is a crappy, right there. And lights, crappy layer. Whoops. Why is this camera? This needs a heavier base. Yeah, it's pretty crappy here. Really. Where it did lay down nicely, it laid down nicely, but there's some issues obviously on this side of the bed. It should be in the center of the bed. That is a slicer issue. Not worried about that so much right now. But what I'm going to do just for shits and giggles, so let's see, we'll peel this up. Oh, it's stuck really well. Yeah, I could probably go a little bit lower on the Z there too, but that's okay. The main goal here was to get filamenting. I'm going to take this build plate off. It's a bit warm because it was 65 degrees, so we're going to take this build plate off, throw it aside over there. I'm going to put a Prusa build plate on here. It should fit. It looks like it's about the right size. Let me get all this stuff off. Sure, drop the tiny little print piece on the floor. There it is. Okay. Let's get this skirt off. Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good live stream. Let's get this skirt off. And we'll get this piece of filament off of here. There we go. Let's give this a wipe down, because I just fingerprinted the crap out of it. Let's see how well this, let's see, this is going to be pretty close. Ah, can I go? Yeah. That may just work. Anyways, so the auto mesh leveling should take care of the difference in thickness, because that's a little thicker plate. I just want to print this on the Prusa plate and see if it makes a difference. I know this Prusa plate works extremely well. Let's see. One ugly machine. Yeah, I know. It's not. The nice thing about this, it's solid. I mean, it's got the double frame here. It is built solid. I'll give them that much. And it feels like a really good quality build. Okay. It's rugged. It's solid. It's got the dual rails. You know, a linear rail for the X. It's a solidly built machine. Dual Z rods, etc., etc. I can forgive the looks if it works. If it gives a good print, I can forgive the looks. So let's see what it does here. So this should mesh level to the thickness of this bed, because of course I can't adjust the, there's no knobs to adjust. So I just want to see if it makes a difference as far as the filament sticking to this bed. I know this bed accepts PETG, PLA, ABS, everything, because I've run everything on this Prusa bed, this Prusa sheet. So, okay, we're going to heat up the bed again, which won't take long because we're already at 50 degrees. But it looks like the vegetable oil might have been the trick with this, or well, I switched filament too, which maybe I shouldn't have done, but it doesn't matter. We're getting filament coming out, which was the main goal. So we'll try this. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you don't think it looks good, might be a good printer, then yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, if it, as I say, I don't care what a printer looks like. If it produces a good print, yes. Well, I do care, because you know what? I really, really love the look of that rat rig. That's a, and I'm going to throw this term out there lightly, that's a sexy looking printer, that rat rig. And I know, based on things I've seen and heard, that it can print really well. So at least it better be able to print really well for what it is, and you know, so yeah. Okay, well, let's see how this goes on this print bed, and then we'll go from there. Anyways, yeah. So this camera, maybe? No, this one. I got two cameras in front of me. I got too many cameras, but I wasn't sure which one was going to be the best angle. So you got one looking down at me, one looking straight on to me. Let's see. Let's try this one. There we go. Am I zoomed in or out? Or, oh no, you don't. You guys don't want to see that, do you? Let's just do that look right there. That's better. A little different lighting on this one too. Don't let your wife know. Oh, thanks, Matt. Okay, here we go. We're going to mesh level. Extruder's heating up. Let's see if this prints a little better or any better on this bed. It could very well be that that's just a cheap piece of, I can say this on my stream, cheap piece of shit plate that they sent with it for a flex plate. So I do know that this is a good plate, so we'll see. And it's going to hit all the points. It's a little shy of the size for the bed, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to hit all the leveling points. So, and because it's going to print towards the back, I'm not worried about anything coming off on the front here as far as a purge liner that goes. So, yes, sirree. Yeah, I gotta try this hot end somewhere. They have to make up print a specific mount for something. I don't know. Try that on my Prusa. No, just kidding. Someday you'll get a rat rig. Yes, you will. I was originally going to go with the Voron, but I because I'm so new to this stuff, I didn't really want the work of ordering all my own, sourcing all my own parts other than the printed parts. I didn't really want that. I'm not going to call it a headache because for a lot it's not. I didn't want that task put on me for my first major build. So, hello, Mike. How are you? When you're big and successful like me, oh gosh, please. Yeah, looks can be deceiving. You're right, I am big. The successful part, I don't know. Okay, the filament issue is definitely solved because we have filament spitting out. Free ejection of filament. It's me. I have to. Okay, let's switch over. Come on. Let's go. See what's going to happen here. We got a purge line going. Looks good. Nice thick fat purge line. Look at that. Let's get some baby stepping ready. Come on, filament. What are you waiting for? Stick. There we go. A little bit of a blob here. We're a little bit too high. That's a little better. Too low now. Not very responsive. The buttons are not as responsive as they could be. Well, this side is definitely cleaner than it was with the other build plate. See what happens when the actual print starts. Maria Webster, hello, my love. Everybody say hello to Maria. Everybody wave to Maria. I'm going to drop Z a bit more here. No. Oh, that's not extruding very cleanly at all. Ah, what do we have? That is not pulling consistent either. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. I have a feeling yeah, that filament is not pulling consistently. Wow. Let's just let that go for a minute here. This will give me an idea where I'm at with the Z offset. And again, the The slicer profile I got from the Facebook group. It's not necessarily the best tuned profile either. So I think I may need to start from scratch on that profile too, or just find a better one, find another one. There we go. Let's just get a closer up look at this. Oops. This camera's heavy, front heavy. Here. Let's put that on there. That'll work. There we go. It's probably a bit low now. It's frustrating because this keyboard, when I adjust the Z, is not responsive. Push it and it takes 3 seconds for the number to show, so I'm not. That is one ugly first layer. Can I increase the extruder tension? There's nowhere on here to tension this extruder. No, there's not. Unless, no, there's not. There's no screw up top on the spring. There's nothing on the bottom. There's nowhere. So, you know, wow. That's too low still. Or something. Wow. Yeah, that is just one ugly looking. Yep. Look at that. Quality 3D printing right here. Yep. Let's do this. Let's just get rid of the. See what's going on here. Am I too high? Man. I don't have this problem with my other printers. What the heck is going on here? Okay, there we go. Wow. Now we got nothing coming out. Look at that, nothing. Wow. Oh yeah, the bed's hot everywhere. The bed is definitely hot. Oh, we got a big chunk. It's just not sticking. Hi. I'm gonna put an end to. I'm gonna put an end to this slow death. Hmm? Which one? Robert?
I asked him if he was okay or anything.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Sorry guys, I just got word that my brother. Where is it? Will you just let me know my brother was in a car accident? So a little concerned. But
Yeah.
I think he's okay. He did the post.
It, yeah.
He posted the picture. Oh my goodness.
I know.
He got sideswiped. He got sideswiped?
But I think he sideswiped somebody.
Wow.
He hit somebody.
Oh, okay.
Or that person came out of nowhere or something.
Okay. What to do with this printer? What to do with this printer? Yeah, I think he's okay. I think everybody's okay there. Anyways, this printer needs a little more TLC from me. I think what I need to do, and it could be my lack of knowledge, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I've done everything right on this. As far as I'm concerned, well, let's see. Let me try one more thing before I give up too quick. Let me try one more thing. I don't want the stream to go on too long. I don't want to bore anybody. Let me try one more thing. Oh. Huh?
Can you get a chance, babe? Can you get my suitcase for me?
Sorry?
Can you get my suitcase for me?
Where is it? In the garage?
No, it's somewhere. I think we stacked them all together, right?
I think it's in the back. Okay,
Yeah.
I will.
But later.
Okay. Okay.
I love you.
I'm boring you to death, I know, Matt. Look at this massive clog. Whoa. Jeez. Okay. Mark Flanagan, hello. Which brother, Mark? Bob. It's on his Facebook page. Yeah, I got to calibrate these steps and flow. I mean, putting a different nozzle on, yeah. Right now I'm just trying an auto level. I don't know. I need a little more patience in this machine. Again, this stream was not supposed to be about this printer tonight, but I thought since I had it torn apart here on the desk, give it a go. Just gonna do this auto level. I was looking to see, they have nothing in here for calibration as far as calibrating the Z offset. I'm just looking through the menu structure here. Nothing. You know, maybe the firmware upgrade will address that. We have nothing to calibrate. All we have is an auto level feature. But running the G29 this is no different than running G29. I don't get it. You think I'm still too high with the nozzle? Okay. Well, see, it did the auto level and it stops, and there's nowhere here to say, okay, save calibration, save mesh, nothing. So, anyways, under more, there's nothing other than a bunch of blank icons. And perhaps as Kieran said, I think before, or whoever said it, maybe I need to do a firmware update, but I shouldn't have to do a firmware update to get a half decent print, I wouldn't think. So let's try one more time because I can be that patient, and we'll lower the Z and see what happens, and I'll get that Z nice and low. Let's try a different file. There's got to be a test file on here somewhere, a test print that came with it, and I don't know. This might be a different card. Yeah. No, I'm going to do the one that I sliced for this printer. Yeah, let's try that. One more. You need a half-decent printer to get a half-decent print. I agree, Jason. It could just be this is a shitty printer. I don't know. Worst case, if I have no results now, I'm not overly worried about this printer because I have other printers. I'm going to just stick an old-style Bowden tube right down to the nozzle and go back to the way it was and try it then and see what happens. And see if that makes any little bit of a difference. And it could just be, I don't want a printer that I have to babysit and handhold and have an issue like this just from switching nozzles or from switching to an all metal hot end. Yeah, I've got to calibrate E-steps and so forth, but it should have come out a lot better than it has been. It's a direct drive. It's just all I'm doing is switching the hot end to an all metal. So we shouldn't be pushing too much more or less filament. So, anyways, measure my extrusion. Yeah, I'll do that eventually. Was just tuning in. Wait, just tuning in. What's going on? I wasn't supposed to be doing a stream on this printer tonight. I was talking about my rat rig 500 by 500 by 500 building going to be starting. So, but then I got off on a tangent on this printer. If anybody wants to, where's my mouse? Let me find my mouse. Dum 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 dum. My chicken's cold. I have chicken for dinner, but cold chicken I can eat. If anybody wants to pop in, now that the stream has kind of become sort of semi-informal, Does that make sense? Semi-informal. How come I have? Oh, I need a keyboard. Oh, Tim. Less streaming, more videos. I know, my streams are too long. Nobody watches long streams. Nobody watches long streams. Command C. And over into this guy here. Dum, da, da, dum. Command V. Anybody wants to pop in, say hi. I'm not going to be streaming too much longer, but you're more than welcome to pop in and say hi. We're going to try this, see what results we have with this. We're going to take Matt's suggestion. We're going to lower that Z, Z, whatever you want to call it. We're going to lower it. We're going to see what happens. Liam. There we are. I may have turned my speaker on. Hang on, Liam. My speaker may have turned off.
Okay. Can you hear me?
And can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just got to turn my volume up here. And then let me see.
Two things I can think of.
Volume. Where's my keyboard? Dum, dum, dum. There. I can hear you well now.
Okay. Two things I can think of.
Yep.
One, your Z offset needs to be down lower for definite because you're.
Yep.
But the one thing I didn't like is as you move forward, it lost adhesion, and then when at the back of the bed it had adhesion, which makes me wonder if when you built the direct drive head, could it be tilting forward the direct drive head and not 100% vertical? If that's the case, it may not lay properly in parts of the bed.
Makes sense. And I didn't really. All I did was replace the throat and the nozzle on this.
Okay.
That's all I did. Yeah.
Is it? I don't have one of those. Is it running rails, or is it like is it got linear rails, or is it just wheels?
Linear rail on the X.
Okay.
And it's just the two rods on the Y, and it's got rods and threaded Z rods and rods on the Z.
Well, your Z offset needs to be lower, I think, and it should auto save that. You don't have to save it; it should automatically save your Z offsets.
Yeah, it should. Yeah. Let me try. Oh, it's going to print again here, and I purposely raised the Z offset before because I just wanted to make sure filament was coming out. Because that was the initial problem, is it wasn't pushing filament. But it is pushing filament right now. It's just
I've heard adding, like I know you added some vegetable oil to it.
Yeah.
That's called seasoning the hot end. Some people think it's the greatest thing on the planet. Some people will give you a litany of reasons why you should never do that. Right. Because it mixes with the filament and causes adhesion problems.
Okay. Which, who knows?
Because when you're printing filament with a bit of oil mixed with it now.
Yeah. Okay. So
which could cause your problem. So I would say what I would do is I would have raised my Z and I would flush out a lot of filament and just run maybe, I don't know, a whole pile of filament out of the nozzle just to clear it out so there's nothing left. To make sure there's no oil coming out. So that's not a good adhesion. I can see that already, yeah.
Yeah, I got lower. Yeah. There we go.
You should see each of the lines in the skirt should merge a little bit.
We go lower.
Yeah.
Oh. Come on, camera.
That's looking a little better.
I'll go a little lower.
Yeah.
There's a big chunk of filament hanging onto that hot end.
Slow down your first layer. Go to speed and drop your speed to 75%.
Let's see if these guys. This has so many. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it won't kick in till it gets a G-code change, but when it's moving slower, you have more time to make adjustments.
There's so much crap building up on the head of that nozzle. And we have Tactile 3D. Hey, how you doing?
Hey everybody.
Hey, man.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nighttime
Yeah.
here, man.
Good morning.
I am. It's good morning.
What is it, 2 a.m. for you, 3 a.m.?
Gosh. Yeah, 3 o'clock. Good morning.
Read over there. Oh, there we go. Okay.
How's it looking now?
Not bad now. It's still, for some reason, building up at the tip of that nozzle, but I think I got most of it off.
If you get build-up, it's a nozzle itself. So what you can do is, when you're finished with your print or whatever, pause it or take it off, heat it up, and get a cloth, a damp cloth, and clean the nozzle down.
Ah,
Just manually wipe it all off while it's still hot to get all the crap off it.
it's definitely looking better. I definitely think that the slicer profile needs tuning.
Yeah, but you should always do.
That was way too fast for a first layer.
You should generally do a first layer at half what you normally do. So if you're doing 50 millimeters, or not necessarily half. If it's PLA, you could do, like, if you're doing a 60 millimeters a second for PLA, I would do a first layer of 40. Just layer one at least, and then after that, you can build up speed.
Well, and I think I mean, my Prusa, they do their first layers pretty quick, but they come out with good first layers. Okay, let's see what this is going to happen on the infill. Already, I can see an issue here.
We can't see the infill from here. Yeah, there's not enough light in it. We can't see it.
Oh.
I'm trying to make out.
It's not that bad.
It's better than it was.
Yeah, but why it's building up on the nozzle? I don't know if you can see in there, right there.
Now, where's it building up? Is it building up above at the top of the nozzle, or is it building up at the tip?
It's starting at the tip, and then it's going up the curve of the nozzle a little bit.
Well, okay. Cleaning your nozzle will help with that because if there's already
Yeah,
stuff
well, it's a
sticking
brand new
on.
nozzle, right? So, but
Yeah, but that's looking better.
Right there.
Yeah, that's looking much better now than what it was.
Yeah, at least a little puff behind.
Yeah, but last time it was lumps and there's bumps and it was coming out. It was putting itself in bed.
Before.
That's actually sticking now. It's sticking pretty smooth. You know, it's not so bad.
Well, what's right is you were a little bit too high.
Yeah. That's what we got to drop it.
I had it high purposely earlier because I wanted to just ensure that it was pushing filament, which it wasn't doing prior to me lubing or seasoning that throat.
Yeah. Well, I think that probably caused some of your initial issues anyway, because you're pushing out filament with oil on it, and it's not going to stick, because oil mixed into it is a bad idea. There's some people who actually have an oiler on the filament as it's going to, so it's constantly oiling, filament going in, and they say it helps prints. I can't see how that can be beneficial because when you mix oil with any material, you're changing the composition of the material, right?
Right. Yeah, of course.
That's printing okay now, it looks like.
Not doing too bad now.
Yeah. It's
And
a
mind
step
you,
in the right direction.
I'm taking the sock off there too, so there's a sock that's got to go on that block.
Well, that's only stabilized temperature. The sock only stabilizes temperature.
Yeah. There's one spot right there.
I see it lifting. Yeah.
There was, you know what? There's a fingerprint on the bed right there too. So.
Yeah. Well, you would have to after using the oiling, you'd have to clean down the bed with IPA a few times to clean it off.
Yeah, I'll have to clean everything up. Yeah.
Now on the Kaiwu bed that you got, the PEI sheet, if it's not sticking well on that, some people say if you get a really fine sandpaper like an 800 grit or a 1200 grit and slightly rub the PEI with that very, very lightly, it will
Yeah.
scar the surface and make it a better adhesion surface.
Yeah, I did it with steel wool. I have steel wool from the
Or
from
double
the
O or triple O steel wool.
yeah, it's steel wool that came with my the plates from Wham Bam.
Okay, yeah, that would
See,
work.
right there. It's funny. You can see the spot that was crappy right there,
Yeah, that's
and
because of fingerprint.
and now it stopped. That's where the fingerprint ended. So that shows a really critical thing there about touching your build plate and grease from your fingers.
Yeah, that's why if you ever do, you always clean it down
Yeah.
with IPA.
Oh, I always do. But
Yeah.
actually, that's a pretty good. I should actually maybe keep this clip later because there's a really good clip to show people why you don't want fingerprints on your bed.
Just take a photograph of it and show it and put out a post on it.
Because as soon as that fingerprint cleared, look, it starts cleaning up beautifully again. So,
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell, if I back this up, that should be in the center of the build plate.
Well,
And it's
that's because the profile is not set for that
Yeah.
machine.
The profile, whoever created the profile didn't put the proper size build plate or something. So
Yeah.
I'm not really experienced with creating my profiles from scratch. So I've got to work on my profiles. And Dominic just mentioned Vision Miner Nanopolymer Adhesive works well. I agree. I have this. I've used it on many things. If I have an issue, generally it'll work. This build plate is extremely reliable. I mean, I've never had issues with it, but I have used this. If I'm doing a print that's like a 40-hour print like I did on my Flash Forge, which was a big piece, and when I first did it, the corners lifted because it was on there so long. And anyways, I threw nanopolymer adhesive on it, and it's 40 hours later, it was perfect. So that is a great product, and it goes a long way. It's not cheap, but it does go a long way.
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I don't. If I have like, I generally use glue stick.
Oh yeah.
That works for everything for me. I've never had it fail on me.
First time I ever used glue stick, and I probably did it wrong. I didn't like it because I put it on the bed as even as I could, not too much, just a nice thin layer. But then the print, you could actually see it had like a pattern in it from the glue stick.
Well, that's easy to get rid of. What you do is you wash the base, wash the bottom part, and that's it. You wash off the glue.
I couldn't rub it off, so
no, you wash it with water.
Oh,
warm water, wipe it down with a cloth or whatever that. Or sometimes I use it for a lot of my parts, and I did it. I just bring it upstairs and PVA glue. That's the same thing. That's what glue stick is. It's PVA glue.
Right. Yeah.
But you just rinse it with water, and what I do is I turn around. You put on with a sponge. I just use a glue stick, and then when I'm done, I bring the part up. I put the part into. I bring it up to the sink, turn on the water, and rub it under the tap, and it wipes it off, and then let it dry. That's it.
I'll try that another time. The nanopolymer adhesive. What I like about it is it lasts about 10 or 12 prints if you don't touch the bed.
Yeah, well, the glue stick can do the same thing. What you do is you just lightly spray it with either with water or with a quick spray of IPA glue or IPA alcohol, and that will actually soften it again. So, like, all of my prints are flat surfaces.
Yeah,
that's from glue, right? They're all perfectly flat because I use glue. Everything I print has that perfect finish, so just wash it off. That's looking okay now.
Yeah, it's looking fine now. Yeah. So the first layer definitely was an issue, but I would have figured that out eventually, lowering the Z and stuff. But the key thing is I got the filament pushing through now on that hot end, on that throat. So. Yeah. I just got to tweak the profile.
I will recommend that don't use. That looks good, man. Yeah. I would not recommend seasoning your hot end like that with oil.
Well,
I don't know how it got. Like what was wrong with yours initially, because I didn't see the beginning. Yeah. But putting oil in the hot end of something like that that's going to heat up, it's just going to bake the oil in there.
it works.
It's like fried chicken.
The
Really
funny thing
greasy
is
and not
that-
good for you.
Let's see. Here's another little bit of filament on the tip of this. Let me just.
I think the hot end gets broken maybe by it, you know, if you use
Well,
too
no,
much oil
it
over a
doesn't.
period.
It mixes with the filament and then comes out and goes onto your bed, and now you have oil mixed with filament one, and then you're trying to get it to stick. Oil won't stick to the bed. It does the opposite. Some people swear by oiling. You can even get an adapter that goes onto your printer, onto your filament, that oils as you print continuously. And the worst thing is, I've heard people who use oiling when it comes to a Bowden tube. Like, that's a crazy idea because you're actually lining the inside of your Bowden tube with oil. So any dust and any gunk that's actually in the atmosphere that gets pulled into that tube is going to stick there and build up inside that Bowden tube.
Yeah.
So I personally I'm not a fan of oiling. Some people will swear by it. I will swear at it all the time. It's a bad idea.
Yeah. Hey, Paul. So.
Turn over a bit, Click.
I found though, well, this one it must have some filament stuff inside of it a little bit, but.
Heat it with a heat gun.
Yeah, I found these throats. The filament was very snug. So and that's why it was recommended to me to season it. So that it'll almost permanently lubricate the inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that first layer is looking pretty good right now. So I call this a success. I think this is good now.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, there's no need.
I think it looks way better than before.
Yeah, that was other than where that fingerprint was.
That'll be fixed after two more layers. That'll go away.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I don't need this piece. This is just more so a test. But but other than where that was, it's not a bad looking first layer.
Yeah, local maker. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people like you. There's different camps. There's people out there who swear by it, and there's people out there who do not. And I'm in the I'm in the negative camp when it comes to oiling.
Yeah. Well,
It is a Xerox. Then only with PDF e-loop.
As Dominic said, sesame oil will give your print a nice nutty flavor.
Well, all I can go by is the fact that I struggled to get the filament pushed through, and all I did was just throw some vegetable oil in it, put it in, and it's printing fine now. Now, maybe it's coincidence. I don't know. Maybe
by the way, did you hear? Everyone and a few others are coming out with scented filaments now. They're on their way. There are apple. They have apple. They have strawberry. They have a couple of other different scents. So when you print, and even afterwards, your filament will smell of that fruit.
Oh no!
They have a lavender one. Yeah. So I know everyone are getting ready. Everyone are going about to do a Kickstarter for it. Yusu are about to release it pretty soon. Scented material filaments. So that's coming. So yeah.
Well,
you print strawberry. It smells like strawberry. Strawberry red filament.
Yuzu?
Yusu, yeah.
Yuzu. All right, yeah.
They're working on it, and I know everyone have been talking about it today, and they're about to release the material. They're going to do a Kickstarter. Is what they're going to do.
It's a no need to have a test printer for white filament. I'm your guy.
Yeah, well, they don't have a white. They're actually doing because they can't link white with a scent. So they're going to do strawberry. They're doing an apple green. They're doing
the vanilla scent, maybe.
I don't know. They haven't said vanillas on their list, so maybe.
That's good. That's decent. I just ripped that off because it's still hot, but I mean, I can't pull the very hard.
Yeah, you just did, yeah. But no, the fact that it bonds together.
That's well.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So John, we were going to tell him to send it back to the CR6 SE graveyard that you have going on, but he got it working. So the machine did not win today.
Well, the machine didn't win today. Never let the machines win, right? As Mike says.
Yeah, he's on. Mike is on actually.
Is he? Is he still on? Yeah.
He was there a while ago anyway. I don't know if he's still there, but he was there a while ago.
Just bed off now. Come on, I don't want to poison this Prusa bed with a. There we go. Yeah. So I'll put that back over by the Prusa.
Cool.
Oh, well, that was a task and a half, but it's working, so I can put this hot end back together later and.
So when are you starting your rat rig?
Well, as soon as it gets here. So.
Oh, I thought it was here already.
I ordered it 4 weeks ago since I ordered it, and they say it was a 6-week lead time. So I'm hoping to get a shipping notification within the next two to 3 weeks. So it's going to sort of be, I'm going to end up doing it similar to what, I don't remember his name now, a DWIT3D, I believe, did. And I'm going to sort of do it live.
Oh,
over a series of live builds.
Over a series of weeks, yeah.
Over a series of weeks and do it live. I'm not going to rush it. And the reason I'll do it live is because guys like you and other people can come on and maybe suggest different things to me, because I'm no expert, especially when it comes to when it's going to come to the wiring up and the electronics and the Raspberry Pi and all that. I'm like,
well, the Pi is easy, but the wiring, I've seen some guys wiring. Have you seen some of the guys' wiring job they've done? It looks amazing. I mean, everything comes in nicely laid out. Fantastic wiring job. So
well, I mean it that way, but I mean like as far as getting the power supply to the Pi, and I mean just getting everything working. And
well, you need another power supply for it. There's an additional power supply on the Pi.
Yeah, I have. Where'd I put it? I have.
The rat rig is a 500 by 500 by 500 build.
I have for the Pi this little guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you got the small power supply for
the Pi. Yep. And then there's also a. I have coming. I think I've ordered it. Is a solid state relay. Apparently, I need for that thing for the heat bed. So I have a solid state relay. But then when it comes to hooking up the solid state relay and all the wiring and stuff, they have instructions that basically spell it all out. But still, I'm the type of guy that for the first go round I need hand holding. I built my Prusa fine, but this is a little bit bigger of a project than the Prusa. This is the Core XY belt looping and all sorts of different things. So once I do it once, I'm fine. It's just like when we're doing these droid builds. Like the electronics don't intimidate me for these anymore. Servos don't intimidate me anymore. The motors I'm fine. So, but I'm a little nervous about this build because again, it's going to be the biggest thing I've ever tackled.
So maybe I'll be calling on you then instead of Jason as my support this week when I start doing my electronics.
Maybe. I mean, I've kind of got them down packed, and I've gone through all the things that can go wrong and gone wrong. So
it's a work in progress. I haven't put on the last wheel here because I'm waiting to do the wiring. I did my first coat of paint today, and I gave it a light sanding, and it needs another coat of white paint. Okay. And when that's done, then I'll start assembling, and I'll figure out the final colors later on. I'll add them in later on, whatever my final colors are. But I'll be building. Everything printed and done. I just have to put it together and wire it all up this week.
Cool. So Dominic says he powers his Pi from the printer power supply. Yeah, I was informed that I should power the Pi separately because the Pi in this case is what's going to be holding the firmware. So, yeah.
Because you're running, what's it called again?
Clipper. No, I don't know if I'm going to do Clipper. I haven't decided yet. I may do, Jason would know. It's what Jason's done with his, and he's right there. He says, if at first you don't succeed, call Tim. I think it's if it's at second you don't succeed, then you call Jason.
I thought they were Clipper-based.
You can do Clipper. This is where I'm very wet behind the ears, I guess you call it, or whatever you're going to call it.
Well,
Rep wrap. Rep wrap.
Clipper has a lot of functionality that is not in normal Marlin and so on.
Right.
I mean, a lot of advanced functionality that's in there because it's kind of like it's been built from the ground up to be super customizable more than Marlin. So
Yeah.
there is some additions in there. It even does some calculations about your extrusion rates and so on.
Right.
As part of Clipper.
Yeah. Yeah, Kieran says there, Michael Law's video has a nice USB connect with the PSU to the Pi. I've been watching Michael Law's videos, and he's using Clipper. And when he walked through Clipper and the steps in Clipper, I was like, that is very cool. I mean, it looked pretty simple, and it looked very intelligent. But
Yeah.
I think I could always switch to Clipper if I
You
ever
could.
wanted to do that. But I think as far as me and my experience and my comfort level, I think RepRap may be the way to get me going. And then once I get that down packed and I learn what I'm doing there, then I think I could maybe look at advancing to Clipper.
Well, since you're running it off the Pi, all you have to do is remove the micro SD card, put in a
Right.
blank one, and reload Clipper, and you can always switch over and back, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's stored on the SD card on
Yeah.
the Pi.
Makes sense. Oh no! Look who's popping in right now. Just as I was going to say goodbye. No, I'm kidding. Hey, Jason.
Oh no! Here comes trouble.
Here comes trouble.
What's up?
How are you, Jason?
Good. How you guys?
Good.
Ready to get out of trouble, not
Oh.
succeeding.
Sitting here watching Tim successfully manage
Well.
another issue.
Yeah, I don't know how successful that was. I mean, there's probably other people that are watching going, this guy doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Well, I do, but it just takes me longer to get there sometimes.
Is it
Yeah, we didn't
printing?
want to say that, like, but
It's
That's
printing.
it.
In your own time, I'd say.
I mean,
no, you didn't. No, it was just the offset. It was. You switched it
well,
out.
the offset, that's not a big deal. I would have figured that out. That's basic stuff. It was getting the filament feeding that gets me. And as Liam says, he doesn't agree with oiling the throat, which I respect because a lot of people don't. But then at the same time, that's the only thing I did different in the filament's feeding now. So it could be the tolerance in those throats they gave me is not as good as it should be. Maybe it's too tight a tolerance. I don't know.
That's a possibility too. Yes.
Mhm.
And it depends on your filament. Some filament manufacturers do not. If the throat tolerance is really tight,
Yeah.
like for some of my Bowden printers, I use the XS Bowden tubing, right?
Right?
And the Capricorn XS. And when you're doing the Capricorn XS, if you get really cheap quality filament that has not very good quality control on the filament diameter, you'll run into problems with the XS. You can sometimes.
Oh, and this is one reason I'm going to throw Prusament on there because Prusament's tolerances are very tight.
Yeah.
So that's working. And yeah, it could have been the other filament that didn't have as tight a tolerance. And if that throat's not very tight is very tight tolerance, then could have been the issue too. So
Like I use G-Tech a lot.
but the throat should be designed to take a little more tolerance in filaments than that. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
They should be, but you don't want too much space in there either, because if you do, now
Oh, yeah.
you're running into guidance problems, guiding the filament down to the nozzle. So
I
there's
agree.
a pro and a con against it, Like I use a lot of G-Tech and Yusu and other filaments here, and IC3D filaments,
Right.
and I never had a problem with them. But I know people who have run into issues that their filament gets stuck in
Right.
Bowden tubes and in hot ends like that because the diameter is just not good and the material they bought
Right.
was just bad. The bad QA, right?
Yeah, exactly. So which printer should I put this on?
What type of hot end is
The
it?
G-Tech.
I have no idea what it is.
What shape is it? Is it round?
It's the hot end itself. It's
Yeah,
like
well, the heat break, the cooling area.
it's a
heat
V6
sink.
call.
It's like V6.
So it's like
V6.
it's like an E3D V6, yeah.
it's a clone. It's got the slimline stepper motor on there. It just showed up in the mail one day, and I looked everywhere, and I did not order this. So somebody just sent it to me, but there was no paperwork, nothing.
Congratulations, you got a free printer.
Yeah, free hot end.
Anyways, well, it came from China. So
Well, that happens to me sometimes as well. I get up in the morning and like or lunch, some afternoon, a printer turns up on my door. Or spools of filament turn up, and I didn't even order it. I got
really hot end for all I
4
know.
bottles of skin toned resin, and I didn't order it.
Uh-oh.
4 bottles of it.
Now we're in trouble.
Oh,
I had
Kieran
to-
is here.
Oh no.
There it is. Let's see. Oh, that's
Yeah,
it.
I just wonder. What did you
Let's try
say?
that. Yeah.
No, put it back.
No, put it back. With a better view.
Put it back, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. So yeah, I'll try that one day. I don't know, when I'm bored, I'll print something or see if that fits one of my printers.
Do you have any Soval printers?
Soval, no.
Because Soval uses the same hot end.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's probably a speed controller you ordered from China, and they ended up shipping that.
You know what? That could very well be. I just know when it showed up, it was in much worse shape than it is now. It got crushed.
Wow.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's there. It's one of those things I can try for fun one day. I mean, it's got to go. Who knows? Who knows what I could put it on?
They're going to go on any machine, basically, you can. You know, any printer will take that thing. All you have to do is have a nonsense.
I'll throw it on the Prusa Mini. No, why? I wouldn't dare do that to the Prusa.
Downgrades, yeah, okay.
What you printing, Kieran?
He's not
Oh.
listening.
Oh,
You
what's
had
the
fun.
print?
Yeah, but
What you printing, Kieran?
what you said about Kieran is all true, Jason, you know? Oh, he's back. Okay, let's
Well,
go.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Don't
worry,
just
Kieran.
printed some
That's
some zip toggles, but it's finished now, so it was just printing the last one off, got rid of it. Yeah, the latest video from Michael Law, he's got a nice video drop with building the power supply for the rat rig using a no buck converters, a small power supply like yours, running through a automotive USB charger wire to the back. It's got a nice little housing for it, and it just makes it nice and simple and very, very tidy. Straight the power supply into the
Yeah, that would
USB
work.
into the pi. That was very, very nice.
And you can buy those. They're easy to find. You can get them on Amazon.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything. They're easy to
Amazon
find.
caravan ones and the automotive, because the 24 volts or 12 volts direct, no mucking around, no conversion required.
Yeah.
Straight out the back of the power supply.
Yeah. So, yeah.
They'd have to go and buy a smaller one.
All right, guys. I say good night. I'm probably gonna head back to bed.
Good morning, Matt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good morning. Thanks for coming in,
It's
Matt.
3:20 in the morning for him.
Yeah. 3 o'clock in the morning.
My Sunday streams lately have turned into hangouts, which is great. I like that because I've got no builds to do. I do have builds to do. I have sitting right over there. I have a CR30 and a CNC machine of some sort sitting there.
Which CNC is that? Who's it from?
It is from. Let me go get it and see. It
Is
is
it the Congo one or is it the
Yeah.
Hi, Matt.
Smart or Tour?
Oh wow, that was all Matt's printers in the back.
Yeah.
No, that noise.
It's the Stain Smart.
Same smart.
That's a Stain Smart 3018. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I have coming.
Is it the fancy one with the emergency stop?
It is, yeah.
So,
It's the Pro version. It is with
Pro
the
version?
emergency stop. Yeah. I have the. I was told that I'm going to be shipped probably tomorrow. I'll get the numbers. I'm going to be getting the Tour Laser Master 2 Pro, which is the new one. So, do you know the one that did you see Currency Fabrications build today?
That's
That
the
was
one
cool.
Chris did
That was
today.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
one. That's why I was chiming in, helping him out because
Yeah.
I know the guys. I know their support
Gil.
guy. Well, that's the Laser
Yeah,
Master.
there we go.
2,
That's
the
it.
original.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
No, that's the old one.
Okay.
The new one is a Pro version. The new one has options to move the Z up and down as well.
Oh,
And it's got
okay.
a few other options on it, and it moves faster.
But that's a
I
kit,
can-
though. You can add it to the original.
You could update the original one to add it, but
Yeah.
the kit comes with all the rails, so what? Just build it with the new one.
I needed. I needed
But yeah,
that one.
Because
My
they also have
garage
that kit to tension the belts too, right?
There's a belt tensioner built in, yeah.
Mhm.
But they have a few more add-ons with the new Pro one. They've added new things. So like I said, they have the Z adjusting, whereas the existing one, the one that Tim has there, the Master 2, doesn't have the ability to do a Z height adjustments
Oh, okay.
electronically, whereas this one does. Tim
There's,
could use the rotation tool and stuff though with
A
that
lot
one.
of
It
people
would
out
work.
there have got custom builds where they have a little knob where you can actually turn it and adjust your Z height on it. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, what they have on the one, the new one is you can do a manual option, which you have thumb screws on the side to slide the head up and down,
Right.
or there is actually, if you get the adjustable head add-on, that what you can actually electronically move the Z up and down.
right.
Now that's nice if you're doing. One of the biggest benefits of the electronic Z is if you're just engraving, it doesn't matter. But if you're cutting in a laser, the laser beam comes down at an angle.
For the focus
To
point.
focus, right?
Yeah.
To a focal
Yeah.
point. That's why you have to be X amount of distance away from your build surface. But
Right.
it comes down to point. Now, you do pass one, you burnt past your focal point. So if you drop
You
Z
drop
on
it
pass
down.
2, now you're at focal point again. You get the most optimal burn.
Clean a cut. Keep
And
clean a
you
cut all the
repeat
time.
that for every step. Therefore, so you drop Z, do a burn. Drop Z, do a burn. And that way, then you're always at focal point. Because if not, you'll end up with a cut that comes out wide like this, and then it
Yeah.
actually branches out like an hourglass shape. Is what you get in
Good night,
your
Thomas.
cut.
Good night,
Take care,
Thomas.
Thomas. So there is a few benefits to having the electronic Z if you're doing a multiple pass.
Right.
Burn like cut. So I haven't done that with the I don't need to really do that much with the CO2 because the CO2 the beam is pretty narrow, the focus beam is pretty narrow, but I like this is going to be a nice build. So and I saw all the mistakes that happened today on Chris's build. So now when I go to do mine, I don't have to make them anymore.
Ah,
There's good having somebody else do it before you because you get to see what happens.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's always nice to be one of the first persons to build it as well, you know. So I've done a few first, but it's always nice to watch somebody else make the mistakes, and then you can not get into them later on. So
That's so true.
so that's that. I was told I'll get the shipping number for that on Monday or Tuesday.
Nice.
How did your DLP come out on the weekend there, Liam? Because when you're on the stream the weekend, the DLP was still printing.
I actually just primed it, and it looks fantastic. The print quality is good. Now, normally they have, the anti-aliasing you have turned on so it smoothens the edges. I set mine to 0 to see if there's layer lines, and
Okay.
there's almost nothing visible. It's very, very little, which is going to be a little bit, right? Because I have the
Must be some.
anti-aliasing disabled. But but they normally had it turned on, but I set it to 0 to show worst case scenario, and it still looks good. So I'm happy with it. It's a really
What was the layer height on it?
0.05.
Okay.
No,
Normal.
0.005.
Oh.
I went
Okay.
super fine.
Well, you'd be hard to see the layer line anyway.
Yeah,
that's
well,
it.
There's probably layer lines all over the place. You just can't see
Wouldn't
them.
well, I went super fine, and it took forever to print,
Yeah.
but it's worth it. As I said, I sprayed it. I have to do a little bit of cleanup on it. When you do a primer, all the flaws show up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll do a little bit of tweaking on it, and some of the flaws are actually in the model. That's why the model is free, right? So there's some of the flaws are in the model, but I'll tweak them and I'll give another quick coating before I show it. But I have to do a review of it. There's a few things I have to recommend them to change. They have perforated bed, and it's the top part. The whole bed is perforated, right? You know the male build plate. An issue is if it's in a like normal resin is kind of a little bit viscous, right? It's somewhat viscous, but when it's warm, it's a lot. The viscosity is a lot lower. When it goes down to the bed, because I was printing in my garage, it was 88 degrees in the garage, right? Goes down to the bed, lifts up. If it's just the right amount of resin in the vat, when it separates from the vat drops and creates a little splash under the build plate. That splashes through the holes and splashes up onto the hood. So they'll have to put something over that so whatever does splash out does not splash out and go everywhere. So I will be feeding that back to them. And the LCD screen it is a beta machine, was rattling around a little bit. I'm sure that's an easy fix for them. But they're not major issues. So the overall print is fantastic. It's got a ball screw on the Z, so there's going to be the tolerances on that are super tight, you know. So it's a good machine. I don't have any issues with it.
Nice.
So we'll see how it goes. I'll show the results in a few days when I finish off those little inconsistencies I found on the print on the surface because of the model itself. I want to finish it out and make it clean so it looks better when I'm demoing it. But I already have my next build planned. I'm going to be doing. I have more resin coming in probably tomorrow or Tuesday, and I'm going to do a super detailed one of Shockwave, and it's free, by the way. Let me post it. This is I'm going to post it in private chat. I don't know if anyone wants to post out to everybody else. That link on Thingiverse, there are 40 parts to Shockwave.
Your Laura had how many parts though? Laura was quite a few parts.
The Tomb Raider was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 parts. So, because you even have 2 strands of hair that hang down here from in front of her face.
But that was with or without the top?
That's I did the one with the top. I didn't have to do the other one, but there was one where she's not wearing her top. But
allegedly, rumor has it.
No, it's definitely there. It's that STL is definitely there. And I didn't print that one, but it is one of the options. But because it's for a review, I can't print that one. But this one it can only be printed on the resin printer, and I put the link there in private chat to go and have a look at it. But there's 40 parts to it, so that'll be an interesting build. I may not.
What is like? I don't know. Shockwave. What is that?
Transformer.
Oh, okay.
Robots in disguise.
Okay. Well, now because I'm looking at it on Thingiverse, and I'm like, I don't.
What's that piece?
Yeah. I don't understand. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, there's one of the Transformers, but it's
Gotcha.
it's.
He transforms into what the F-14 fighter, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah, he's one of the bad guys. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's extreme detail. I mean, the half the inside of it is actually hollow. It's just individual pieces joined together. You know, it's a cool build. So I'll do that one next.
Jump to the end of the pictures, Jason. You'll see right at the very end. It's got them assembled.
Yeah.
On the picture.
Oh, okay. I didn't go. Okay. Yeah. I was like 3 clicks off.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks cool. Okay. Oh, but wait. So it doesn't actually transform though.
No.
Oh well, who wants that? It's not a transformer then.
It's a thought that counts.
Well, it does. It transforms
doesn't.
from 40 pieces into one piece. See, that's transform.
It transforms 40. It transforms 3 weeks of printing into one model.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when you have your droid run across the bench and knock it off the table.
Yep.
No.
Wait, no, that's
It's not
Tim.
print yet, so that's coming. Well, at least I'd have a crash. It'd be knocking off a model rather than crashing into my leg and injuring me for life.
But didn't you drop your balls out of your one as well, Jason? You're out of the scrambler. You
really want to go live with this stream, Tim?
Yeah, I did. I knocked the balls out of my egg bot twice.
Yeah. Oh, was that just? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
All 45 of them. Yeah, twice.
All 100 and something of them.
And
Yeah.
he hadn't checked his wife's purse for the remainder.
Yep. Yeah. I did. I rebuilt it. He's been rebuilt.
Well, he must have talked to the pit droid racer then, and that was why I got revenge on you.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know, because Tim, it's gonna leave a scar.
Tim, does that wheel actually do anything? Because I remember when the beta just came out, and Joe Telling had it, and he turned it and the wheel fell off because it was actually really decorative.
They've mounted it differently now, but it does actually turn the extruder.
Okay, that's good, because when Joe got his, he started turning it to try and extrude filament. It broke off in his hand.
And
he
it was
wasn't
just fake.
doing anything. He was doing nothing.
They changed the way they secure it now. So the way we had it before, it was a plastic insert, which is terrible. So now it's not. They've totally changed it. Yeah.
Okay. But it's kind of funny that in his first build, he even put it together backwards. He put it together.
Come off my hand.
Was the wrong way around. But that was funny. So that's my next excuse.
I'm going to end this stream because it's like
we're here.
Yeah, exactly. The three stooges that fitting his stream to a.
No, it's just been a long one, and
we're just missing John for to make a quartet.
We are.
Exactly.
A quartet of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Who are you kidding? Nobody misses him.
Well, Mark,
he was on. I don't know if he dropped off. He was chatting.
He was
before,
on.
but he may still be around. Yeah, so watch out.
Yeah.
I would only talk about him if he was here. I don't do that behind your back. I do it to your
Kind of all
face.
four in one place at the same time, or it all goes to shit really, really quickly.
Okay, well, I'm going to close it off.
Tim, before the flames get any higher.
Talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful night.
At least you got it all sorted there, Tim, so that's all good.
Yeah, and I'm going to say
Use
goodbye
your
to
other hand, Liam. The one behind you.
the remaining viewers that are on here. Talk to you guys later.
Your good hand.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. Well, that was the show for tonight. And listen, everybody who stuck around, thank you so much. It wasn't going to be about this printer tonight, but it ended up being about this printer, which is fine because we got it working. So why we ended up having to lube the throat, don't know for sure. It might have been the tolerances on that throat. Could have been the tolerances on the filament or a combination therein. So, but we got it working, we got it printing, and that's about that. So anyways, I probably won't be live next week. Maybe the week after I will. I'm going to try and do some videos in between now and then, if time allows. But the exciting news is that I'm going to be building this big, massive 500 by 500 by 500 rat rig. When and I will let you guys know. Believe me, I'll be on like that, saying I got a shipping notification, because it's exciting for me to be able to do this and share it with everybody out there. So. Thank you for those of you who stayed and watched this long, and thank you for those of you who came on as my special guests. Even you, Kieran, you're welcome anytime. But next time just keep the camera down a little. I'm just kidding. Talk to you guys later. Thank you very much. Everybody have a wonderful week. Like and subscribe, or dislike and subscribe, whatever you want to do. But we'll catch everybody later. Take care, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.